So One Championship partners with Media City Qatar. So those of you that don't know what Media City Qatar is, Qatar's built this city where it's built out, ready to go for over 60 media outlets around the world. They come there, they use it as a place to film, do their shows, do all these different media activities. They also have an element of it that's for entrepreneurs, influencers, and so on. It's a mechanism of attracting talent and companies and organizations to Qatar who otherwise would not come, basically. One Championship is the biggest fighting championship or biggest fighting league to in the Asian region. They're opposition to the UFC. I'd say they're the second largest after the UFC, even though the PFL claims to be. I don't think so. They pretty much agreed on a partnership where they will work together to start producing all these live martial arts events in Qatar, starting in Qatar and trying to sort of venture throughout the Middle East. The key to this partnership is Bain Sports. Bain Sports will come in as a partner and also distribute these shows through their network, which is a huge network, specifically in the Middle East and even through Europe and all these other regions, because they buy up a lot of these soccer rights or football rights or whatever you want to call it in these different regions. So we're seeing Qatar now coming into the fold. Qatar's looking for events after the World Cup to keep people coming back there. They've gone and taken out the FIBA, the volleyball, all these other World Cup-like events, but so they can keep the tourism coming through now that they've built all this infrastructure for it. So that's an interesting partnership that I thought that we could sort of talk about, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Well, again, I think you hit it on the head. I mean, Qatar is looking for life after World Cup. They've made the investment, and there's going to be challenger brands that are going to be are going to be in a great position. I mean, obviously, UFC wasn't going to be an option. We talked several weeks ago about PFL's involvement with the Saudis, with Nagano and kind of creating the African League and kind of pushing in that way, and and you're right. I think one is One Championship. I kind of remember for a little bit further back, when it was Pride and in those groups, Lion Fight, and a few others, Muay Thai fighting. I mean,
Strike Force,
Strike Force. I mean, and you now kind of have and it's not a stretch move. I think it's a move that it's a viable brand, and it's one that can. I think already has a pretty good following. It makes sense for them to partner with Qatar and produce their content there. We've seen that the UAE and Saudi Arabia have been big movers in the combat game, both with UFC and with premium boxing. Qatar, hey, I'm going to emulate that, but I'm not going to do what you're doing. I'm going to go in a different direction and get one that I can call my own. And this is an opportunity for them to build with someone who, hey, we're a pretty good league too. We've got great content, but we're not gonna go to Saudi and be the second or third fiddle. We're going to go to Qatar and we're going to be your number one game, your number one fight game. And so it makes a lot of strategic sense, and we'll see how obviously distribution and things of that nature, but I think it's a wise move for both, because there's a natural built-in audience that comes with them, and for the league standpoint, you're getting that technology, you're getting that that infrastructure. And you've got and look, there's probably a little bit of financial support snuck in there as well. Yeah, absolutely. let's see how that grows. See if that, we see a nice pop in their purses and in their pay-per-views and in their their attendance. And to your point, got to keep finding ways to have people come to Qatar to experience the infrastructure that was built for the World Cup. And this is no different than cities like Vegas and Abu Dhabi and the like. I mean, they continue to build and to attract using sports tourism is a big deal. And that's this is another way for those fans of the one championship to say, hey, I'm going to see the fights in Doha. Let's go. Let's get there and let's go see the fight. And, that's now they kind of become part of the travel sports calendar for those fans. And if they have good fights, which I imagine they'll come out of the gate with a kick-ass card right out of the gate, something you can't get in boxing anymore because the good guys won't fight each other. They may be on the card, but they're all fighting tomato cans. You need this is the one thing Dana White always does. And here we are tipping our cap to Dana White. He's worked his way into this podcast again. But
thank you all for tuning in. We'll catch you all next week. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.